good evening, everybody, and a very, very warm welcome. You see a change of setting. So, I'm back in my hometown, and today my cup of tea is in the room where my girls have grown up. So, yes, it's a very, very warm welcome from Hyderabad. And, as our planning goes, I always have to carry Pan with me. So Pan has traveled all the way with me, and so has Pan's mama. And last week we started this topic of the phonics. So now Pan is walking with mama and saying, Mama, I understand phonological awareness. I understand sounds around me. I can sing songs. I can name rhyming words, but I want to do and practice phonic again. So Mama says, Pan, just wait. Keep walking with me, and I'm going to show you some very simple things with which we can sit down and make resources together. So you will do activities, some old and some new, and you can make them with things that are just around you. So Pan looked all around and he said, Oh, Mama, can we use this little cardboard too? And Mama said, just you watch. We are going to introduce you to this wonderful, wonderful person who's going to help us to make resources with very simple things. So Pan became really, really happy and to introduce very simple resources to continue with our concept of phonics with easy resources. We have Sumati with us. A very, very warm welcome, Sumati, to our evening show. So I hope you have your cup of tea ready.
Yes, I have my cup of tea ready. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, Sonia, ma'am. Thank you very much for that, for introducing me here. And I welcome all the teachers, parents who are watching us lively. And as ma'am said, the story, it's a beautiful story. So we are going to do some resources. We are going to do some activities through the resources in a very
Perfect,
simple
perfectly
way.
good.
Okay?
Yes, and
And
I have to tell the audience this, Sumiti ma'am, before you continue. So, because I'm traveling to a new place, the setting is new, everything is new here. So, we took a little time to get our connections right, and I kept kind of struggling with them. And one thing so beautiful came out of this entire process was that Sumiti stood out beautifully as a trainer and facilitator. That's what she is for the Square Panda, because facilitators and trainers are not people who are only good at knowledge, but they're also people who are patient. They are people who are empathetic towards other people's situations. And I think, Sumati ma'am, that's going to make you a very big strength for whomever you train. You know, that you have the empathy, you have the understanding, and you have the patience to be a wonderful trainer. I also would always like to, compliment this young girl, Sejal, who supports the Square Panda sessions. Wonderful. So this is what we all stand for as educationists: patience, flexibility, understanding. With the best of planning, things won't go right and still going ahead. So, Suvati ma'am, we'll start with our first activity because Pan and Mama are walking. So, what can she do to teach him the vocabulary?
okay. Pan and Mama. Thank you very much, ma'am. Pan and Mama, has Sonia ma'am said, they are walking through a school or they are doing some activity. They are staying at home, and these activities for the children who stay at home or who are going to a Anganwadi or a play school. When the children
Yes.
comes into an Anganwadi or a play school, so their vocabulary will be in a starting point, in a developing stage. So to improve their vocabulary, we can't give them any sentences. We can't go with them with the sentences. We start off with simple words. So for example, when the child comes into an Anganwadi, we can use the resources whatever is available in an Anganwadi. For example, in a classroom. You can take it as a classroom. For
Or
example,
any home, Sumati ma'am. Why a
any,
specific Anganwadi or a play school or it could be any child
yes, ma'am.
anywhere, right?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
yeah. So we'll
any
do it here.
child, anywhere. So I'm giving you one
Absolutely.
example. For example, if the child is staying at home, we can teach them this enrichment of vocabulary by showing the sofa and showing the table, a dining table, or a rack, a shelf, a book, a watch, like this. Whatever is available in and around, we can show those objects only to enrich their vocabulary. So when it comes to a school part, so these are the things. For you can see here few items which I have kept here to show you. So these are the few things which is available in our schools. So what we are going to do with these resources is we are going to make the children sit in a semicircle. So after making them settle down sitting in a semicircle, we are going to ask the children, can you show me where is the fan? So the child can easily identify where is the fan, because the child has seen the objects even at home also, even in the school also. So in this enrichment of vocabulary, we are going to use the words which the child is familiar. So can you show me where is the table? So that is the table. So always we start off with simple words like table, chair, bench, rack, box, door, window, wall. So like this we start off with simple words. Then the next activity with enrichment of vocabulary will be simple sentences. So in this activity
Okay, we'll
also,
stop here, Sumati ma'am. We'll stop here for just a minute.
yeah,
So, what also you'll all have to pay attention to is that first is objects, real
yes,
life objects,
yes,
and drawing the attention of the children with clarity of your lip movements. Don't prattle or don't just say, use words like do do, use words, proper words, milk,
yeah,
doodh,
do,
kursi, chair, and clarity. So that's important. And we can actually build up to 500 vocabulary words in a normal home. It's that big a vocabulary. So after that, the pictures can come, like the pictures which Sumiti ma'am showed you. And what has
yes,
she done? She's taken a simple printout and she's put it on a cardboard box. Smith ma'am, I want you to show them that resource again. Turn it over, flip it over, so that everybody understands all you've used is one of these. Nowadays, so a lot of your things are coming online. So keep the boxes and use them like this, right?
yes,
So,
yes.
ma'am, now the next one. Now we go to the sentences. Come.
Okay.
So,
Now we,
concrete objects, pictures, sentences.
yeah, in this now we are going to do the next activity, that is the second activity in enrichment of vocabulary. So for this we are going to use simple sentences to communication in a communicating manner. So we ask the child, can you please go and sit on the sofa? Can you stand near the table? Can you will you please go and touch the chair? So like this you start up with the simple sentences, and when the child is in Anganwadi or school, you can also tell them, can you close the door, or can you open the door? So can you get me a text English book? Can you get me a cube? So like this simple sentences you can tell the children. Yes, ma'am.
And also very noticeable is very easily, ma'am has moved from nouns to verbs and prepositions. So she's saying, touch this, do this, get this, and then go and put it near the table. So without even the children realizing, there is
Yeah.
grammar coming in and there is a progressive
Yes. Yes.
increase in the way they use vocabulary. So
Yes.
please be conscious of all of this.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So the
Yes.
next step, oh, the next step is really interesting because, when Pan was walking around, he was looking at a scenery which was real. So concrete objects are always the beginning. And then Sumiti ma'am again, has come up with this beautiful next activity. So ma'am, could you show us that?
Yes. Now I have a beautiful picture which you all will like. This is a picture of a village. How is this picture?
Many colors. It has many colors.
Yeah, it has many colors. So, ma'am, can you see a lady carrying something?
Yes, yes, I can. Yes, I can.
Okay. And can you tell me what are the things you can see in this picture?
I can see trees. I can see pots. I can see some huts. I can see some houses. I can see people inside the houses. And if you show me the picture again, I can find more things.
Yes, yes. So this is about the this activity is called as scenic pictures. So with the children, whether the child is at home or in the school, we are going to show like this scenic pictures. You can take any picture. You can even take a post office or a bank or a hospital or a marketplace or a mall. So you can take any picture and ask the child to identify the things which is aware of. So he can identify. So in this it is like a word building. So इसमें बच्चे नए नए words को सीख रहे हैं और identify कर रहे हैं बच्चे. So you can make the child at least identify 20 to 25 words in this
Another
picture.
beautiful thing I'm imagining when I'm seeing this beautiful poster is I can do a story with children and I can tell them to, color and draw. And maybe we can use their own pictures for conversation. I think
Yes.
that's another fantastic resource, that you do storytelling. You tell them, Acha, jaise I tell you the story, you have to draw it for me. So each child will maybe draw the same story in different ways. And we
Yes,
can
ma'am.
use the same children's posters and say, okay, today let's see this poster. So art integration, it's so simple to do it. So what ma'am has shown us is this beautiful vibrant flow of colors, and now this is another resource which is so reasonable. Imagine it's about a story, it's about some crayons or paints or maybe just paper tearing or a combination, and getting the children to make a story come alive.
Yes, ma'am.
This may not be done by 3-year-olds, but 4-year-olds, 5, 6, 7, 8-year-olds can do this really nicely. So imagine using posters with the children have made. So that's another lovely activity, Sumiti ma'am. Really, really nice. A conversation. Another thing very nice we can do with this, Sumiti ma'am, is saying, I spy. I can see a little bird. So I spy a bird. So the children look for the bird, and then
Yeah.
I spy a bird on the tree. So they look for, so you can actually start using an I spy game with this as well. Suppose you feel they've missed out some parts of the scene, so you
Yes.
can play this little game with them. Another beautiful game, Sumati ma'am, now that you're showing me this picture, many ideas are coming to my head, is a beautiful game where four people play this game.
Yeah.
You put a scene in the middle. Ma'am, please put it down. Aram said, now that
Yeah.
everybody has seen the scene, you
Yeah.
put the scene down and you give the children some
Yeah.
paper counters. For
Yeah.
example, my paper counter is blue in color. Sumati ma'am's paper counter is pink in color. It could be small counters. Sejal's counter is red in color. And we have another friend whose counter is maybe green in color. And I say tree, and whoever puts the counter first, that thing becomes theirs. So then
Yes.
I own a tree, and then Sejal will own a house. Sumati ma'am will own the matka. So like that, and then the best part is after all this is over, you tell them that okay, now whatever you own from this scene, name it very quickly. So it becomes a beautiful memory game. All this
Yes.
is required for awareness, for language, and for phonemic development. You also need a good memory. So this is a
Yes, ma'am.
building up of that. Lovely,
Yes, ma'am.
lovely. And then we have to go to the next step. Now ma'am is going to take us to the next step. From the scene, first she took us from the whole to the parts. Now she's taking us again from the whole to smaller parts. So ma'am,
Yeah.
can we go down to the next
Okay.
activity?
The next activity, what we are going to do is we are going to do we are going to work with classified pictures. ये classified pictures को हम बच्चे को कैसे सिखा सकते हैं? So for example, I have taken a very simple example here. I have taken a pictures of a flashcards of fruits. यहाँ मैंने flashcards लिया है, fruits वाला लिया है example L के लिए. So what we are going to do with this? So this is like a theme based activity. तो theme based activity में हम इस सप्ताह, so this week we are going to talk about fruits. For first day, that is on Monday, we are going to introduce the fruits for the children. So ऐसे flashcards हम लेंगे, ऐसे flashcards हम लेके बच्चे को इन fruits का नाम बताएंगे. So like this apple.
सुमति मैम, हम जरा ग्रेप्स का पिक्चर एक दफा दिखाएंगे सबको, जो ग्रेप्स का है, ग्रेप का कार्ड दिखाएंगे. just bring it up front. So, you know what we did was, we did all kinds of cards for you. Sumati ma'am did some cards very neatly and some cards very consciously were had a little tera mera. Why did we do that? So that you are conscious that when you are working with children, everything's alignment should be correct.
Yeah.
You see, please show them this and now show them an apple. Show them the apple. See how beautiful this alignment is for the teachers and parents. So good alignment is very, very good for little children. So be conscious of that. That is why we used all kinds of resources, the correct ones and not correct ones, so that we see the difference very, very clearly. So you are all going to be very careful. So classification is what ma'am is talking. This week is the fruits week. So the first time she's going to introduce the flashcards, she's going to introduce the names of the fruits, right, ma'am?
Yes.
The second time.
So that is on Tuesday. So Tuesday हम क्या करेंगे? ए fruits का color बताएंगे बच्चे को. So ये apple है. So apple का color क्या है? Red है. So we are going to talk about the fruits and its colors. Fruit and the colors. So next we are going to go for the third activity. और third activity में हम क्या करेंगे? So for example, I am going to take a picture of banana. So मेरे पास banana है. So we are going to ask the children, ये क्या है? ये banana है. So इस banana का पहला sound आपको क्या सुनाई देगा? So what is the first sound you are going to hear when we say banana? What is the first sound? Ba. B. B. Now, what is the first sound you hear when we say apple?
Ah.
Now, what is the first sound you say when we say papaya?
Papaya.
Yeah. So, essay like this, we are going to make the child understand the first word of the fruit, first letter of the
sound
fruit.
Yes.
Okay.
So beautifully, Sumiti ma'am, we'll recap. We'll wait and recap. First, we did the words with things around us using concrete objects.
Yeah.
Then we are now next going to do, then we did posters. Then we did the scenes while walking.
Yeah.
Then we did scenes on the poster. We talked about scenes which the children can draw.
Yeah.
Then after doing the wider things, pictures, we came to classified. This week fruits, next week we can do vegetables, third week we can do colors, then we can combine all of them. So systematically, it's not that the first day ma'am introduced names of the fruits, sounds of the fruits, colors of the fruits and work over. No, systematically it was done so beautifully that my child first becomes familiar and is not worried. Second day is becoming familiar and adding one more word. Third day, whatever is familiar and gone into the ear 2-3 times, we are now telling them, look for the sound. And every time we are introducing it, we are going to say, in the beginning, we won't say apple. We are going to say very clearly, apple. So the sound is being introduced, banana. So without saying anything, we are introducing the sound to the children. So that's a beautiful activity. Sumati ma'am, I am going to write this activity down very seriously for my list of activities. I've loved this activity. Thank you.
Okay, ma'am. So yeah, in classified pictures we did 3 activities. Now the fourth day. So that is on Thursday हम क्या करेंगे? So we are going to spread these flashcards on a mat. कोई mat के ऊपर हम इस flashcards को रखेंगे. So after that we are going to ask the child to identify the fruits so that we will come to know how much the child has understood about the fruits. So we are going to tell the child, can you get me an apple from the flashcard, from the no, classified picture. So the child has to search for the picture of apple and he has to get it to me. This is the fourth day activity. In the fifth day, so fifth day में हम क्या करेंगे? We are not going to give any names of these fruits. We are going to ask the child itself to tell what is this. We are going to ask the child, what is this? This is an apple.
And on the fifth day, you can also add, I want a fruit starting with the sound ah.
Yes. Yeah.
I want a fruit.
Yes.
I'm looking for a fruit starting with the sound. G.
Yes.
So just
Yes.
play this beautiful game with the children.
Yeah.
And what ma'am has done, introduction, recap, and finally at the end of the week, so simply she has used assessment.
Yes.
Assessment can be as simple as this. We keep looking at very complicated assessments. Nothing. She just seated the children around the circle, and on an online session, you can flash it to the children.
Yes.
Okay, now we are going to go to this exciting activity, which I think I still enjoy, and it is going to take care of the visual memory of the children and the vocabulary as well. So, ma'am, we'll do the next activity of that, the differences. Please, let's show that to everybody.
Yes. Yes. I'm going to show that activity. First, I'm going to show you one beautiful bag. So this is a magic bag. ए मैजिक बैग है. सो इसके अंदर मैंने कुछ टूटी फूटी चीजें रखा हुआ है उसके अंदर. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, कैन यू टेल मी व्हाट इज दिस?
Looks like a keychain or it's like a mala. I think like a
Yeah,
children's mala, right?
yeah,
Yeah, like a
like a
string.
children's mala. And what is this?
It looks like a box of maybe
Yes, it looks like a box. Yeah, yeah, box. And ये क्या है? हम
rubber
बालों में
band.
लगाते हैं बैंड. और ये क्या है?
No, that's a ribbon.
टैग. टैग.
Okay, the
It's
tag. Okay, I just saw.
टैग. टैग. एंड ये क्या है?
Oh, that's a pot, is it?
Yeah, it's just a pendant.
It's a pendant. Okay, so I
Okay,
can
it's
also
a
describe
pendant.
it like a pot. It looks like a pot to me as
Yeah,
maybe on
yeah.
the visual, so it's okay. All right, so maybe a keychain or a little bell.
Yes, this is a bell. और मेरे पास ये नैपकिन भी है. ये नैपकिन यहाँ क्या कर रहा है? देखेंगे हम क्या करते हैं. और मेरा पास ये एक socks था. हो I lost it and this is one socks which I am using it as my resource. And one more thing I wanted to show you.
Oh,
Clip.
is it a clip? Ah,
Yes,
yes. So
clip,
these are things
clip.
the children see around them. Yeah.
Spoon.
All right. So the
Bowl.
object bag or an object box is something which
Yes,
you can
yeah.
all make with
Yes,
little
yes.
things and use them.
Okay, so all this I'm going to put it in the bag. इस bag के अंदर मैं डाल रही हूँ. So all this I'm going to put it in the bag. So what the child will be doing in this? यहाँ क्या activity हम करवा रहे हैं? So what activity we are doing now? So very simple. We are going to take out only one object from the bag. We are going to
Okay.
take out only one object from the bag and we are going to show the child what is this. We expect the child to say this is box. So when you say box, what is the first sound you hear? What is the first sound you hear when we say box?
B-
Okay. Now, what is the first sound you hear when we say spoon? Yes. Now, what is the first sound you hear when we say pendant? Okay. Now, what is the first sound you hear when we say socks? Pouch? So like this, you can collect any object,
Yeah,
कोई भी.
and I think, yeah, and when you're collecting objects, is another thing which you can do really beautifully is you can put 2 to 3 objects beginning with the same sound.
Yeah.
So you can say with can you pick up a purse?
Yes.
Just now, what did we use? A pendant.
Yeah.
So we could just do that. So can you pick up 2 things? Start with 2 things with the same beginning sound. Gradually, you say pendant.
Yes.
And what is the last sound? So all this becomes like a preparation for phonics
Yes.
without really showing them the letters, just getting
Yes.
them to understand the sounds and connecting things together, right?
Yes,
So
ma'am.
after
Yes, ma'am.
connecting same things, now spotting the differences. So if you could show us that now, ma'am.
Okay. So now we are going to we have seen lot of things from the object box. जैसे Sonia ma'am ने भी like she told us before also. So you can just tell the children one more activity like I can see an object which starts from the sound P. The child has to pick up that object. So this is beautiful activity which Sonia ma'am said just now. So next we are going to go for after doing this object box, we have to also see how much the child has understood hearing the first sound and the last sound. So for now, this is an activity where we are going to make the child understand what is the first sound and what is the last sound. I'm not going to use any objects here, but we are going to use all the CVC words, all the 3 letter words. For example, when you say cat, what is the first sound you hear when we say cat?
K-
Now, when I say cat, what is the last sound you hear?
So when you say the word, like for example, when we're asking the children what is the first sound, and these children are new to the concept, so concentrate on that. So say that what is the first sound when you say cat? So just extend it.
Yeah.
And what is the last sound? Cat. So just
Yes.
minuscule separate it. So
Yes.
without really helping them, you are still using a very simple resource to help them. It's like that without really giving them, telling them that now hear this. No, you're
Yeah.
without really forcing it on them, giving
Yeah.
them a helpful hint.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Wonderful. Wonderful. So,
Okay.
object box. Now, what about that similarities and differences, ma'am? Can we have that?
Okay.
You had shown us one beautiful comparison of 2 pictures.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
ma'am has so
Yes.
many resources that she has to look for her resources. She has got lovely resources, simple pictures from an old book.
Yes.
Anywhere,
Yes.
it could be 2 pictures from a newspaper. The
Yes.
same
Yes.
advertisement from a newspaper, you can add something to one of the pictures, add 4 pictures to it, and use even something as simple as newspaper advertisements. Just don't
Yes.
worry. The concept is spotting the difference, right? So
Yes.
please, ma'am, if you
Yes.
could show us the pictures and talk a
Yeah.
little about it.
Yes. So in this is a very simple, like Sonia ma'am said. So in this picture, we are going to ask the children to watch and observe this picture, observe the things, whatever is there in this picture for 2 minutes. So after that, once the child has observed, we are going to keep this flashcards upside down. Now we are going to ask the child, what are the objects did you find in this picture? Can you recollect it? So the child, without seeing the flashcard, the child has to tell what are the things he has observed in the picture. This is a very beautiful activity for enhancing their memory skills. So इसमें क्या हमारा memory improve होता है and gradually हमारा IQ level भी develop होता है.
So, as ma'am said, you will flash a picture. And the next time you flash the picture, it should have a few extra pictures in it. So
Yes.
not only will the child realize that, what was there in the picture, will also notice the differences in the picture. Of course, the other activities, put them next to each other and say, put your counters or your little lids of your, any old toothpaste or something on everything that is different. So don't look always for this perfect resource. Use anything that you have to make it
Yes,
perfect
yes.
as learning can be, and learning can be with multiple things.
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
Oh,
ma'am. Ma'am,
yes.
ma'am, you said very beautifully. We can also use the resources whatever is available with us. We did not have to make a perfect resources, as you said. फ्लैश कार्ड्स बनाने की ज़रूरत नहीं है. जो कुछ भी टोटे फुटे चीज़ें हैं हमारे पास, उसको यूज़ करके ही हम ये मेमोरी एक्टिविटी करवा सकते हैं बच्चों के साथ. So now
Yes.
let's go to the phonic sounds. Phonic sounds के लिए मैंने कुछ फ्लैश कार्ड्स बनाया है. I have made some flashcards.
Okay. So uppercase and lowercase. So ma'am has
Yes,
made both
I
the
have made
letters.
both uppercase, and these are the uppercase letters I am showing. And I will be showing you lowercase also. I will be showing you lowercase also. So, for example, I will start with the letter A. So, this is the letter A. So, इसमें हम बच्चों को phonics सिखाएंगे. So once the child understands phonics, so आप यहाँ देख सकते हैं. And you can give this flashcards for them to trace also, and this can be reused as many times as you want. ये ये मटेरियल क्या है, ये रेक्सिन है. तो हमें ये लाइक वेयर यू गॉट दिस मटेरियल इज, इफ यू गो टू ए पेंट शॉप, अगर पेंट शॉप जाएंगे, सो और इफ यू गो for a tarpaulin shop, they will be using these type of material. So all the waste materials you can ask them, they will give you. So I asked those materials for them, which was readily cutted for me. So ये कट किया हुआ मैंने फ्लैश कार्ड्स के लिए यूज किया. सो दिस आई कैन यूज एज मेनी टाइम्स I can use. ये you can fold it or you can wash it. You can do whatever you want. That it will not it won't be damaged, and you can always do tracing on this. So once,
So, yeah, so for tracing, we will do the tracing dots as per the whatever
yeah,
is your concept. Like if all the tracing goes downwards, tell them when you
yes,
go,
yeah,
ah, go like that. And then with that, you give them the tracing of the small case and say, ah.
yes,
When you're doing tracing and you're doing sounds and you're doing shapes, don't say too many words in between. Just
yes,
let them look at the symbol and say, ah,
ah,
ah. Or b. Don't say B says B. Nothing. Just let them
yes,
look at shapes and follow the tracing and just say the sound.
sound,
It helps a lot not to have access words. It really helps a lot. So what we're also going to do now is very quickly, we're going to do the blending and segmenting for you. And then we'll wind up a little early today. But we will finish this whole concept so nicely started by Sumiti ma'am. So the next one is the first she did the letters, then concrete objects. You remember that beautiful bag ma'am had? It could be a bag, it could be some other things, and she could put in. Suppose I'm looking for an so she can find an app. The child can find an apple, a ball. So concrete objects. After that, the child can do the shapes and the pictures. And then ma'am has 5 pictures for us to do the blending and segmenting. For any blending and segmenting without pictures, you first need your left hand facing yourself. It should be facing yourself. Close it. And
yes,
then the first word we are going to say to the children is k, a, t. The child says cat. So I can actually say k, a, t. And when the child says cat, it means the child has heard separate sounds and is blending it. Suppose I say cat, then the child goes k, a, t, and is segmenting the sounds. Blending is when we give the sounds and the child gives us the word. Segmenting is when we give the word and the child gives us the sound. And now ma'am is going to do this with cards and objects. So ma'am, over to you.
Okay. So once the child is thorough with all the phonic sounds, we are going to show them how to do the blending. So बच्चों को like the children are able to identify the first sound and the last sound, and the child is thorough with all the phonic sounds. Now we are going to start with CBC words. So मेरे पास एक छोटा सा cat है. So this is an object, cat. So shall we form the words for this cat? So what is the first sound you hear when we say cat?
K. Cat. K.
K. And what is the sound you hear after k?
K.
After k.
After k.
What?
Ah.
Of,
Ah.
And what is the last sound you hear when we say cat?
So another way to do this is when the children say k, a, t, immediately they pick up the k, they pick up the a and the t and place it in front of them. So no words are spoken in between.
Yes.
So the minute the child says k, the child picks up the k, then the a and the t. Now let's blend and read it. Cat. So the audio and the visual start going together. Can we do all the vowels, ma'am? Can we just finish the vowels very quickly? And then we'll wind up for today.
Yes. And what is this picture?
So can we do the pen first? Because we'll do the vowels in order. I mean, we can do it with A, E. We can do I also, because if you're going to use the S, A, T, E, P, N, then the pin is as good. So there is no harm in introducing the pin first. And then the pen, and then the other words. So, ma'am, the next word is pen. Okay?
Yeah, pen. So, what is the first sound you hear when we say pen?
P. P. Eh. Ma'am, you'll have to hold it the other way. Yes, yes. After the P, eh, pen. This is when you're practicing all the vowels together. But if you're doing groups of words, then do it according to the number of sounds you have taught the children, that you've done the pan and then you do the pin. It's perfectly all right. It's the order is not what we are discussing today. We are discussing the blending and the segmenting of the words. Okay, pen. Okay, the next one, ma'am. We went from concrete objects. Now ma'am is going to show us a picture. So as many times as you can show objects, please show them to the children. And now this is a pin.
Pin.
Okay. And you can use both together. Like you can actually use a pin from the environment and then use a picture as well. And then the flashcards. So, when the children segment, then don't let them say the word pin. And when the children blend, then they say the word pin. For example, if I'm going to say pin, the children will do and clearly hear three distinct sounds. When I say then the child will say pin and hear the word. So just do one concept at a time and then keep moving ahead. Ma'am, can we do this beautiful pot of yours now, the O sound?
Yes. And this is a beautiful pot.
Pot. So P, O, T. Segmenting. We'll blend it now. Pot. Pot. Next one, ma'am. Mug.
This
Cup.
Is mug. Cup.
Cup.
A tea
Okay,
cup.
cup.
A tea cup.
K, A, P. Segmenting. Cup. Blend and read. And so simply, with such simple, straightforward resources, Sumiti ma'am has helped us. Ma'am, we've got it right. We've got that. Thank you so much. So we went, do you realize that she just used cardboard sheets? She used some very simple activities, took us right through a whole lot of vocabulary, verbs, prepositions, posters, classification. And in classification, I loved it. Introduce it one, then introduce the description, then find out the first sound, tell them to recap and find it on their own, and then sound and symbol association. So, and then from there, symbols, you can do four symbols together, four sounds together, and then build words related to that, segmenting and blending with very simple, straightforward resources. So
Okay.
Sumati ma'am, I want to
Uh,
thank you for the most beautiful session that we've had. And yes, you were saying something, but what
okay.
were you saying?
See, ma'am, I wanted to give one last activity here. So, if you want to make the child more practice with the phonic sounds, you can also give them with the flashcards and the picture. So, the child will be pairing
Yes.
the first sound with the letter. With
With
the
the sound, yeah.
letter. Yeah.
Yes, when you introduced it, I told them they can use it with objects as well as with the pictures. So as many objects as possible, tell them to walk around the house with the particular symbol, and tell them to go and find all the things with that particular thing, right?
Yes,
Thank you
yes,
so
yes.
very much, Sumati ma'am. And
Yes.
I'm sure that all the teachers you train, all the children who are, who get trained by those teachers are going to benefit with this. And we were very proud and happy to have you on our platform. I've enjoyed having you here, learning with you, watching your patience, and thank you so much. And for all the audience, next week we have somebody interesting again, somebody who's going to take us through the processes of language learning, so similar to what we were doing for phonics, but this will be like a whole journey with language. So, Sumiti ma'am, do you have anything to say to us before you leave?
I'm very thankful for Sonia
No,
ma'am
no,
and
no,
Square
no, no, no,
Panda
no.
for giving me the opportunity to do this small work webinar. And I'm very thankful. ये जो कुछ भी चीज़ें मैंने use किया है, all this is easily available. Please use
Yeah,
these things for to
beautiful.
teach the children, and children also enjoy doing these activities.
Sumati ma'am, you can't thank me, but you can thank Square Panda because they've given us the platform to share.
Yes,
And the
yes,
reason where every person is welcome on this platform, because this is a platform to build a community of people who care. So it's as simple as that. Also, every year, every week, we give you an activity sheet. This week, I didn't really create a sheet ready, but I said that you will make your resources. So please, when if I can put up a sheet, we will do that. But I think more important than filling it on a sheet this time is make four nice resources for your children. Bye bye, and thank you
bye.
so much.
Thank
And
you.
Sejal,
Thank you
thank
very
you.
much.
Bye bye. Thank you.
Thank you.
Square, square, panda.